guys, Roshi and welcome to Pixel P.I. This is a detective game where we will write our own reasoning, our deductions, and our conclusions using our own detective skills to solve cases and the mystery of our forgotten memories along the way. This is the demo version of this game. It has a planned release date for 2025 and it is developed and published by Crischu. This game does look very interesting and right up my alley. The pixel design is gorgeous and something that I love. The developer actually reached out to me and asked if I would like to check out the game, and I was like, yes, I would, because it seems exactly the type of thing that I would be interested in. Detective games, check. Pixel graphics, check. Sick sounding lo-fi music, check. So let's jump right in, have a look at some of the settings. Very basic for now. We got master, music, and sound effects. And we can save our game progress or just exit, which we're not gonna do. We're gonna have a look at some of these characters. We have Nina, John, William, Damien, Felicia, Unknown, and Pixel, which is us down here. And with that, you can also go and wishlist this on Steam. I should make that very clear. There is a Steam page for you to go and check out as well. Very important, go and wishlist, show interest. And we're gonna jump right in. And I'm gonna see what this is. Whoa. Oh my God. System. Location. Hevet Beach, St. Remy, Waveland. Time, 3:31 a.m. Date, 20th of November, 2089. Who are you? Why are you here? Stop going after... What are you doing, triple question mark? What are you talking about? Answer me. Trust me, it's not worth it. You'll only get yourself killed. I won't be threatened. I don't care what you say. Don't be stubborn. It's for your own good. Somehow I don't believe you really care about what happens to me. In that case, you leave me no choice. I'm gonna kill you. Location, Pixel's apartment, St. Remy, Waveland. Time, 5:41 a.m. Date, 22nd of November, 2089. It was just a nightmare. Pixel, you're awake. How are you feeling? Ethan? I'm fine, Ethan, but I shouldn't be sleeping. I have to figure out why I lost my memories and my computer got wiped. What's the hurry? If someone did this to me instead of killing me, they must have a reason, and that reason is potentially dangerous to me. I need to be prepared for whatever comes next. I found something they couldn't erase. It's from a physical, I almost said psychological. It's from a physical notebook I always keep hidden with important information. Help me set up a case on my computer. Case ID 59187222B. It's from a list of cases I found in the notebook. The list is the last entry I made, so it's probably relevant. I'm on it! I look like a weird gumball. Whoa, game buttons, explanation, okay. These are the main buttons you will find in your desktop. You should familiarize yourself with all of them. The settings button will let you change the game settings and save the game. Yes. The clues button will show you the clues you have unlocked. You should begin your investigation by reviewing these, okay. The hint button will show you a hint about the current case. Click it only if you are stuck, okay? I'm not gonna lie, that may be clicked a few times. If you stay stuck at the same point, the hints will become iteratively more explicit with each click. Okay, cool. On the right side of the screen, you will see the currently available interviews. Click on the interview you want to access to open the interview database window. Okay. All right, Alex. New clues unlocked. Ethan. All right. When you see Ethan pop up, click on him to watch his interaction with Pixel. Okay. The police usually ask witnesses their name and their age, so we should start by asking both questions to make sure the system works. Okay, well, I want to look at the clues. Who are you? Alex? Okay. Bernie. Bernie is the victim in this case. She was a journalist investigating the final police report on Bernie's death. Okay. She's 27 years old, journalist, brunette, small stature. Detective Langley was the case investigator. Addendums. Since 2086, the 21st of the 4th, 2086, Detective Oakley was assigned as the case investigator. Reason, Detective Langley excused himself from this case, citing personal reasons. Interesting. Bernie was killed with an axe, taking a hit to the head with the weapon at 3:12 p.m. the 16th of April. She was coming back to her home from a supermarket a few blocks away. Suspects, Alex, 25 years old, no known job, black hair and red eyes. There he is. Sick anime hair. The case is open but hasn't been updated for years. Why was Alex the main suspect? Due to the suspect's lack of motive and absence of any other suspects, no one was charged for this crime. Okay. Wait, there was general clues too. Pixel! I thought that said a hooker detective. I'm really glad I read that better. She woke up yesterday in her room confused. She was greeted by Ethan, a robot assistant she doesn't remember. After a moment of panic and violence against Ethan, Pixel realized she had no memories of the last 2 years and that all her digital devices had been wiped. Pixel remembers her childhood, leaving her childhood home, working with the police, solving cases, getting fired, and her own first few detective cases. After that, it's all blank. Pixel doesn't trust Ethan because she always hated robots, but keeps him around to obtain information about her past. Oh. Pixel's notebook, one of the only items in Pixel's possession that contains recent information. Pixel started writing in this notebook when she was a kid, but didn't use it much, preferring digital notes. However, she kept notes for specific information she didn't want to lose if she was hacked. The first notes are keys and encrypted passcodes only Pixel can decipher, updated over years. The most recent entry on the notebook contains police case IDs Pixel doesn't recall. Between these entries, there are encrypted notes Pixel doesn't remember writing or how to decrypt at the moment. Okay. And Ethan is Pixel's robot assistant. According to him, his memories are fuzzy, so he knows they've been working together for some time, but doesn't have any specific memories about it. Despite being a robot, Ethan lacks knowledge about the world, which seems related to his fuzzy memories. All right, Alex. Oh, God. This is the interview database framework window. In this window, you will interact with the case's interviews and unlock statements and pieces of information. Okay, on the left side of the window, you will see the interview metadata. This metadata contains the interviewee's name, the date of the interview, the topic of the interview, the assigned role of the interviewee, the case, and the way the interview was conducted. Okay, on the middle of the window, you will see the statements. These are the answers the interviewee gave during the interview. Each statement will be encrypted until I unlock it. Okay. On the bottom of the window is the text input field. In order to unlock statements, you will have to ask questions to the interviewee. You can ask any question by typing them in the text input field and pressing enter or clicking send. If there is a match, the matching statement will be unlocked. Okay. For example, if you ask, "What is your name? Can you tell me your name? Who are you?" or however you want to phrase it, to Alex, his answer to that question will be decrypted and you will be able to see it on the statement section. By clicking on a specific statement, you can access the debunk button to debunk that statement. Debunking requires you to have a clue that contradicts the statement, so most statements can't be debunked, like Alex's name. Okay. Last but not least is the handbook button. This button will open the handbook, which contains information about how the police conducts interviews. The handbook is divided by sections, and each section contains information about how the topics in that section are treated. The handbook keeps track of what statements are relevant to each section you unlocked, okay? You may use the handbook as you please, whether ignoring it, trying to complete it 100%, or somewhere in between, which is recommended. Okay, regardless, if at any point you are unsure what to ask, you should reference the handbook. Okay, I will. This is really cool. So I have a bunch of encrypted things from the interview here with Alex that happened on the 17th of April, which was a couple of days ago in real life, on the topic of Bernie's murder, and he is the main suspect. Okay, and we've got the handbook up here. So she said that we should start by asking, please state your name. Okay, awesome. I'm Alex. Okay. Wow, how come you asking a question just decrypts statements? Well, we have this list of encrypted statements, right? Which are encrypted using the IEA algorithm. Basically, it's encrypted very compactly. So to make the information retrievable, they also encrypt the vectorized intent of the statements and questions. By vectorizing the intent of my question and comparing it to the vectorized intents of the statements one by one, if there is a match, the matching statement can be decrypted by an algorithm I reverse engineered. Wow. You kind of lost me there. Sounds like magic. I'm agreeing with that. It's just pure magic. If there is no match, my software will say something like "no match found," or however I worded it, but it doesn't matter because I can ask as many questions as needed. There can be lots of trials and errors involved, but I am able to make educated guesses based on the context of the case, the clues, my knowledge of how the police ask questions, etc. The police. That's amazing, Pixel. I can't believe you can do that. Yep, and the best thing is that by decrypting statements, we will also sometimes decrypt evidence. How does that make sense? Well, I had access to the police database software when I worked there, and I should shut my mouth. I already told you too much. You really should. All right, Alex, I believe that is your name. You are not lying to me about that. Okay, we could ask what his age is and his occupation. How old are you? You are 25. Okay. Hey Pixel, we decrypted some useful clues about Alex. There was a hair found on the victim's body that matches his DNA, and also he is receiving large sums of money in his bank account from untraceable sources. You should take a look at the clues. They are on your clues folder. I'll take a look at the clues and then ask Alex about it. I will. What do you do for work? Alex? I do some odd jobs here and there for a living. Okay. Alex's bank statement shows daily deposits from different accounts beginning April 5th up to and including the day the statement was obtained. The deposits amount to a very large sum. And a strand of hair containing Alex's DNA was found on Bernie's clothes. Okay. Suggesting that Alex interacted with her the day she died. What else do they ask? I guess, yeah, you could ask all the like regular stuff about like, where were you on... When did she die? Where were you on the 16th of April at 3:12? Okay. Where were you at 3:12 p.m. on the 16th of April? Oh gosh. Okay. I was in my home at the time of the incident, nowhere near where it happened, and I was doing my laundry. I'm going to debunk this. All right, debunking. To debunk a statement, the first thing you need to do is select the clue that contradicts the statement or shows that the statement is false. The next step is explaining how the clue contradicts the statement, okay? For example, if the statement is, I was at the park that day, and the clues say the park was closed that day, you can say the park was closed that day, so you couldn't have been there. Yeah, fair enough. Make sure you selected the right statement and the right clue. Most statements can't be debunked. Make sure you found a meaningful problem in the statement that a clue you own can demonstrate. Okay. Well, his DNA is on her body. And explain how the clue shows that the statement is false. I guess maybe I should get more information actually before I just start debunking things. You're doing laundry. He lives an hour away from the crime scene. Okay. Interesting. All right. I guess, yeah. Do you know, what's her name? Bernie? What's her last name? How do you know Bernie, I guess? How do you know Bernie? Let's see. I never met Bernie. Okay, well, I'm gonna debunk this. You say you never met Bernie, and yet we have your DNA. We have proof you've interacted with her at least once. Debunk. Aha! Whoa! I don't know why my hair was found on the victim. We may have brushed past each other at the supermarket I went to earlier that day. Okay, hold on. We decrypted another clue that corroborates the fact that Alex and Bernie were seen at the same supermarket at the same time, very close to the time and place where she was killed. With that clue, we should be able to debunk his claim about his location at the time of the incident. Let's see that clue. Okay, yeah, he said he was at home. Okay. Debunk. Witnesses saw you there. You live an hour away, and yet witnesses saw you at the supermarket together. Supermarket at the same time as Bernie. Aha! Yeah, I guess you're right. I was kind of close to the place where it happened, but I was just passing by. Okay, so this was a lie. You say you never met Bernie, but you don't know why your hair was found on the victim. Okay. You do some odd jobs for a living. Okay, well, so we could ask follow-up questions. So after gathering initial information, it's important to ask follow-up questions and discuss key pieces of evidence. Why would you... That's a good question. So like why, how, what, where, when? Why did you lie about being at home? Okay. What kind of odd jobs do you do? Okay. How much money do you earn? Okay. I'm gonna debunk this. I'm just gonna screw it, debunk it. Because he makes a lot of money. You make too much money. Alex. It's not quite convincing. Shit. Okay. What are these bank payments you've been receiving? Let's just ask him straight. I was trying to think of like clever ways to do it. Whoa. Fuck you. Those statements you see on my bank are payments for a job I'm doing, but it's under a non-disclosure agreement, so I can't talk about it. Okay. I think that's all we're going to learn from Alex's interview. It would be interesting to get more insight into why Alex wasn't arrested, given all the evidence there is against him. We've decrypted a new interview that may give us more information on this. Let's take a look. Okay, that's Alex, and this is random. Hi, what's your name? Please state your name for the record. No, okay. Can you state your name? Okay, I guess we're not allowed to know his name. How old are you? What do you do for a living? Whoa! Whoa! Processing. Oh, come on, that's not fair. What happened? I was so close to solving this case and this guy just spoiled it for me. All I needed to know was Alex's connection to the black market and I would have been able to definitively prove he was the killer. I didn't need a random PI appearing and explaining how to solve the whole thing. After the PI's explanation, there are 2 statements left at the end. What else do you think the police asked him? The police was probably interested in how he knows so much about the black market. They always try to find an angle to catch you. And also they probably asked him why he's doing this, what his intentions are. We should discover what he had to say about that. Wait, so what did he say? He's a private investigator. He heard on the news that a journalist was killed, so he wanted to do some digging on his own and found some interesting stuff. Bernie was investigating the black market and some of the groups that operate there. The Crimson Mob, the White Hand, some even neither she nor I know the name of. Well, someone didn't like that and decided to silence her. They hired someone to kill Bernie to make her stop investigating them. I believe the person they hired is Alex. Alex's neighbors refused to be interviewed by the police, but confirmed off the record that they heard Alex was an assassin. Wow. Alex has a reputation as a for-hire murderer in the black market. Given the DNA evidence that shows he had contact with her and the fact that he started receiving payments that no one knows what they are for or who they are from, it is obvious what's going here. How do you know so much about the black market? Random stranger. My job as a PI often makes me confront entities that deal in the black market. I wish I didn't know the kind of stuff that goes on there. Pixel, what do you know about the black market? I got my NIU in the black market. What's an NIU? The neural interface unit. It's a brain implant that allows me to connect to the internet and other devices with my mind. I had to get it in the black market because I was too young to get it legally, but I really needed it if I wanted to be serious about making money hacking. That sounds dangerous. How was your experience? I had to access the dark web and I found a seller there. I met them in a random store in the city. It was a weird experience. Did you go alone? Yeah, but I had backup in a way. I made sure there was a police officer nearby and I hacked his radio to send a signal with my location if something went wrong. Smart, Pixel. I can't help but wonder, what if your memory loss is due to having a knockoff NIU? I don't think so. I eventually replaced it with a legal one and the tests all came back good. How about someone hacking your NIU and messing with your memories? I thought about it, but hacking an NIU is not possible. If someone figures out a way to hack NIUs, they could practically mind control the whole world. If that happened, my memories are the least of our problems. Alright, well there's still something that we have to learn about him. Right? So, she was investigating the city's black market. Mysterious PI that seems to want to anonymously help the police solve cases. Who is he? What does he really want? Why does he hide his identity? Is he the reason Pixel registered the case FN187222B's ID number in a notebook? Maybe. We'll see. what are your reasons for helping? Like, why are you helping us? You have no reason. You're just okay. I just want to make sure you guys, the police, do your job. I know some of you have been compromised, but I also know most of you are honest and want to do what's right. Or at least that's what I want to believe. So I'm here to do anything I can to help you. All right. Pixel, did you know about this PI? Seems like he does kind of what you do. Kind of what I do. I would never help the police for free. Those guys are all rats. I'm confused. Didn't you work at the police? Not really. I was an external consultant. Right, that's totally different. Bold move getting this sassy with me at elbow to the face distance. I don't think I knew this PI either, but I'm not sure. Also, I don't think he is being honest. Something's off about this character. I can feel it. That being said, I agree with his analysis of the case. There's not much to figure out except for why the police didn't arrest Alex. I think we've gotten enough information from this case. Alex was paid by some shady organization to kill Bernie because she was getting too close to the truth about their illegal activities. This random PI seems to think the police is compromised. That must be why Alex wasn't arrested. Okay. I wonder if the same people who killed Bernie are responsible for my memory loss. Maybe I was working on a case that involved them. But that still doesn't explain why they couldn't just kill me. There's also that mysterious PI seemingly helping the police. I wonder how he fits in all of this. I don't trust him at all. Maybe the next case will shed some more light on this. Let's set up case ID 23984712J. I'm on it. Hell yeah. Okay. All right. William reported John to the police on the 13th of July, accusing him of blank. William later recanted his accusation. Interesting. Victim's name John. 42 years old, small business owner, graying hair, tall stature. Detective Oakley. Same guy from before? John was killed by a bullet to the head in his home at around 9 p.m. the day 17th of July? Yes. Suspects, Nina. Nina is John's girlfriend. She lives in the city an hour away from John's house. Louis. Louis is John's across the street neighbor. He was home at the time of the incident. William. William is John's next door neighbor, was home at the time of the incident. The case is open, but it hasn't been updated for years. All three suspects had solid alibis. No other suspects were found. No one was charged for this crime. Okay, well, William had a grudge against him for something. John is the victim. He owns a trading card store. Oh no. How am I going to get my magic cards? William is a neighbor of John's. He resides directly to the east of John's house, with his backyard serving as the only separation between the two properties. Part of William's collection, a set of antique firearms. Interesting. Okay. There's a criminal organization that operates in the black market. This is general clue. And this is Bernie's stuff. She was killed by Alex. Okay. We're going to figure it out. Please state your name for the record. Thank you. How old are you? I'm 63, and what do you do for a living? I am retired, but I still do some work as a collectibles picker. Okay. How did you know the victim? I didn't know John very well. We only talked a few times. Okay. Where were you at the time of the incident? The night of the incident, I was at home. I was at home watching TV. I couldn't have killed John. I was at home the whole time. Louis can confirm that. And the shot actually hit my house on the outside while I was in my property. Do we know who Louis is? We decrypted a new interview about this Louis guy. Great, let's see what we have here. Oh shit. Oh damn, Louis. Louis is a neighbor of John. They live across the street from each other. Local dog Sammy found a missing child in the park. The city council is investigating the recent streetlight failures. Local battle master card game player wins. Nina, a local player, won the regional tournament held on SFIP St. Remy the 14th of July, surprising everyone with a rare card rumored to be worth a fortune. And he's a collectible hunter. Do you know anything about the light disturbances? How do you know Louis? Louis is my neighbor across the street. We just have short conversations when we meet outside. Okay. You said, what is a collectibles picker? A collectibles picker is someone who finds and buys valuable items from other people and resells them for a profit. Okay. Does that include collectible cards? As a collectibles picker, I pick a variety of items, including antiques, vintage, toys, trading cards, firearms, and other collectibles. Okay. So you do. How can Louis confirm you were home? Did you ever buy or sell cards from John? No. Okay. Do the lights ever go out in your street? Interested? No, okay. We found stuff out about that. What did you see? That's a really good question. You heard a loud noise coming from outside. Okay. I heard a loud noise coming from outside that sounded like a gunshot. When I heard the first gunshot, I went outside to investigate. I met the neighbor across the street, Louis, who was also concerned by the noise. Then I came back inside and heard a second gunshot, which sounded much closer. When I heard the second gunshot, I called the police to report the gunshots. Okay. We just decrypted a new piece of evidence. There were 2 bullets found around the crime scene. We should be able to debunk William's argument that he couldn't have shot John. The 2 bullets from the gunshots heard at around 9. Bullet A was found inside the victim's living room, close to the western window. Bullet B was found stuck in the outside of William's west wall. One of the 2 bullets killed John. Neighbours and passers-by heard 2 gunshots at around 9, the night of 17th of 7. Close neighbours saw William and Louis leave their respective houses briefly and exchange a few words after the first gunshots, returning back afterwards. Okay. Okay, so does your living room face... Does your backyard face John's backyard? Can you see from your place into John's living room? Like something to do with this. Call to the police was made by William at the time of the reported second gunshot. So that's true. Debunk. Wait, cancel. Louis and nearby neighbors confirmed the fact that William was on his property when both shots were fired. Yes, but your house faces his. Your house is the only one connected to John's. Fuck. Alright, let's go talk to Louis for a bit. Can you state your name? And your age? 58. What do you do for a living, Louis? Anything to do with card games? You're a music composer. At the moment, I'm working on the music for a new movie. Can't say which, I'm afraid. Rumors online say Louis is working on the soundtrack for Spider-Man 4. Jeez. How do you know the victim? I didn't know John personally. I only knew him by sight. We just waved at each other when we saw each other outside. Okay. Where were you on the night of the incident? The night of the incident, I was home right across the street from William's and John's houses. I was composing a track playing the piano in my living room. I couldn't have killed John. I was at home when both gunshots were fired, and there's no line of sight between my property and the inside of John's living room. Okay, well, there is between his. So there is line of sight between your living rooms. You have line of sight between your living rooms. Let me have this. Okay. Let's go back to Louis. What else should I ask? Oh, yes. What did you see? The most important question, of course. Oh. What did you hear? I heard a gunshot. I went outside to see what was going on. I went outside to see what was going on. I saw William leaving his house almost at the same time, so I went back to talk to him. I talked with William for a few seconds. We just agreed that the noise was a gunshot and that he would call the police. We then each went to our respective homes. A few seconds after I got back inside, I heard a second gunshot. I assumed William had called the police, so I stayed inside looking out the windows until the police arrived. Okay. Fair enough. Did you ever work with John? There's other things here. How do you know William? William is my neighbor across the street. I don't know much about him really, even though we've been neighbors for a few years now. Okay. Were there ever any issues with your neighbors? Street light failures. Do you know anything about it? Tell me. It's important. Okay. Line of sight. I'm just gonna try this. Okay. You reported John to the police. Okay. I filed a report against John because I thought John had stolen my card, but soon after I recanted the accusation and the whole thing was resolved before the murder, so I had no reason to be mad. William recanted his accusation against John a couple days before the incident. We decrypted a new interview about William's report against John. It's from 3 days before the incident. 3 days? That has to be relevant to this case. Okay. A mint condition Cosmin Kai card, part of William's collection. William reported it missing, accusing John of stealing it. Did you get the card back? Okay, hold on. William and John. Okay. Name. Done this. Missing card. My officially appraised Battle Monster card. Okay. Jesus. My officially appraised Battle Monster card, Cosmin Kai, was stolen by John. It's worth a lot of money. It's the only known copy of the card in existence. I managed to secure a highly sought after auction slot for my card for today, but now thanks to him I have nothing to show for it. The opportunity is lost and I expect to be properly redressed. I'm a member of the network. I will not tolerate being treated like this. The network? The fuck is that? Deleted. That's not creepy at all. What the fuck does that mean? How do you know John took it? John stole my card. No one else knew how valuable it was. He was a collector as well, and I told him about it. Are you close with John? I often invited them over for dinner because they seem like nice people and I wanted to get to know them. Them? John and who? Else? Okay. Could it have been Louis? No. Okay. So, William was scheduled to auction his Cosmin Kai card on the 13th of July. William failed to show up for it, resulting in a last-minute cancellation of his slot and a penalty from the auction house, including a 1-month suspension and a hefty fine. William belongs to a secret society called the Network. Great. John. Name. My name is John. Age 42. Job. I own and manage a trading card shop. Did you steal William's card? I didn't steal William's card. Why does William think you stole his card? I have no idea why William would accuse me of stealing his card. Have you ever seen this card? I've seen William's missing Battle Monster card. He showed it to me a few days ago. William's missing Battle Monster card is probably worth a lot of money, more than $100,000 if I had to guess. The card is very valuable because it's a rare first edition and it's in mint condition. Only a few of them exist in the world, and on top of that, it's very sought after by players because it's one of the most powerful cards in the game. Do you sell collectible cards? I assume you would. Okay. How do you know John? There you go. Oh, how do you know William? Sorry, I forgot you were John. William is my next door neighbor. I barely know him. Okay. Have you sold cards to William before? What kind of trading card shop? I don't know. He says no one else knew how valuable it was, but the card is very well sought after. It's a very rare card and it's worth a lot of money. It's a collector's item and there are only a few in existence. I know. How much is it worth? There were 2 gunshots. There were 2 bullets.
Aha!
Oh, easy. Should have done that earlier. William's alibi only makes sense if there had only been 1 shot. There were 2 shots the night of the murder. He argues he couldn't have fired one of them, but even if that was true, there was another shot he could have fired. His alibi is worthless. Now that doesn't mean that he is the killer. He might have been nervous or confused when he gave that argument. Oh, he's a fucking murderer! There were 2 gunshots. Okay. What am I gonna do now? We have to understand William's relationship with this case. Yeah. I know. Alright. Where was the card kept? The last time I saw my card was the day before I made the denouncement. It was in a drawer in my studio where I always keep it. Who else knew about the card? No? Theft opportunities. Let's just type this in and see what we get. John and his girlfriend came over for dinner the night before. I noticed it was missing. He must have taken it then. I always invited them for dinner and they always declined. Now the one time they accept to come over, my card goes missing. Do you think that's a coincidence? Who is John's girlfriend? Nina? What did his girlfriend do? How long have they been dating? Did you have dinner with him? Okay. Where were you during the theft? Like, what were you doing? Okay. Did you have any conflict with John? We already got this. Let's go back to this one. Did you have any conflict with John? So I never had any conflicts with John. We were always friendly to each other. Why did you recant your accusation? No, you did have conflict. The fuck? You filed a police report against him. I filed a report against John because I thought John had stolen my card, but soon after I recanted the accusation, the whole thing was resolved for the murder. How was it resolved? Do you know Nina? A few days ago, I think John and his girlfriend Nina had a fight. I heard them arguing loudly and then she stormed out of the house. I did not catch what the argument was about. Ooh. Nina is John's girlfriend. She lives in the city an hour away from John. Several neighbors saw John and Nina arguing. Okay. We unlocked the interview with Nina regarding John's murder. Looks promising. Let's see it. A new clue got decrypted. Some rumors about John and Nina. They apparently had a fight a few days before the incident. We should follow this lead. I want to know what they were fighting about. Okay. Nina. Name. Age. You're 32. Oh gosh. Job? I'm a professional Battle Monster TCG player. Also, I work as a freelance software developer. How did you know the victim? I know how you knew, but I want you to tell me with your own words. John was my boyfriend. We had been dating for a few years. I live with him on the weekends. Professional, Interesting. You play TCG games for a living? Do you get paid money? What does your job entail? Freelance software developer. What do you develop? I don't know. Why only on weekends? Why do you only live with him on weekends? Okay. I guess I know everything. Where were you during the incident? The night John died, I was at my house. My roommate can confirm it. It's an apartment in the city an hour away from John's house. The police confirmed her alibi with her roommate and some neighbors. Did you know John's neighbors? Did you know William? This is interesting. I need to know. Okay. You were seen arguing with John. I didn't have any problem with John. We had a good relationship. I love him. You were seen arguing. I'm sorry. I have to admit something. I borrowed William's... Whoa. I borrowed William's card to use at a tournament. I was going to return it, but John found out and he was so mad at me, he yelled at me. He ended up returning the card anonymously for me. I think William might have killed him, and it's all my fault. William is a creepy old man who lives next door to John. He always stares at me through the window when I'm at the pool, and he always makes weird comments about me. He says my outfits make him act up and that it's dangerous to dress like that around him. That's weird. William always invited John to dinner when he knew I would be there. I always declined because I didn't want to be around him, but when he got the Cosmon Kai card, he invited us over and I accepted because I wanted to see the card. And yes, steal it. I think William could be the killer because John was very worried about the card thing. William already thought John stole the card and was very angry about it. What the fuck? Okay. Why did you do that? So part of William's collection, an expensive Battle Masters trading card, the case seems to have been broken. Eyewitnesses saw John slide an envelope under William's door on the 15th of July. Nina's deck list for the tournament held on the 14th of July included the Cosmic Kai. Okay. I need to ask this part. Okay, he said that the card issue was before the murder. The card was damaged. Oh, that's right. Thank you for the hint button. He missed his auction spot. You missed the auction spot and got fined and suspended. There we go. You are right. I was angry about missing the auction for the card. However, it wasn't John's fault. I had just misplaced the card and I found it in my home the day I recanted the accusation, so I had no reason to be angry at anyone but me. Well, you didn't. You didn't displace it. I know you hadn't displaced it. It was used in a tournament. What do I need to say? Yeah, I know. You did not misplace the card. It was stolen and used in a tournament. It's not quite convincing. Nina used it at a tournament. Okay, I guess I don't need to debunk that one. John slid it under the door. Okay, I guess I don't need to... Nina used the card in a tournament. I don't know what else I need to do here. Like, I'm trying to debunk the right thing. Nina used the card in a tournament. Oh, okay, now it works. I think we have enough from this case. Nina stole William's trading card to use in a tournament, which caused William to think John stole it, so he reported it to the police. John then retrieved the card from Nina and returned it in an envelope, hoping William didn't figure out it was him. But people saw him and word got around to William, who was already mad about missing the auction. So when he saw the card's case broken inside the envelope, he probably freaked out and wanted to get back to John. He then recanted the accusation so it wasn't as obvious he had a dispute with John. The night of the murder, William shot him through the window from his own house, then came out of his home to pretend to be worried to his neighbours. It was Louis who encountered him. He then went back inside and into his backyard and shot his house to divert the attention from the first shot. I feel bad for John. He was trying to do the right thing and protect Nina. Overall, the case was very simple and the police got most of the relevant information from the interviews and the clues. So once again, the question remains, why wasn't the culprit charged? I hope the next cases shed some light into this. It's true. Oh, thanks for playing the demo. So that was Pixel P.I. This game is actually really fun. I really enjoy the concept of it. The fact that you get to type out and figure out and deduce your own questions and things. That is really fun and fascinating. The art style is beautiful. The way that the actual UI looks and everything works together is very smooth and easy to play. Having the hint button there is really useful for idiots like me who can never figure out things on their own. So I really appreciate having that. I like that everything is sectioned off into different things so you can easily find what you're looking for. It's just fun getting to decrypt and solve age-old cases to figure out what the hell is currently going on with me. I'm excited to see what happened to Pixel's memories. I'm excited to deduce some more cases. So I definitely will be wishlisting this because I want to play it. So thank you so much for watching. If you did, like I said, this game is Pixel P.I. You can go and wishlist it on Steam right now. It has a planned release date for sometime this year and it is developed and published by Crischu. And that's going to be it for me. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. I hope you get to play many, many games and I will catch you in the next one. Bye guys.